Hello, folks. Fresh off of our Lord Chris Wilson obliterating Guardian and nuking my dominating blow build from orbit, I'm here to bring you an exploration of Path of Exile, the only way a dangerously unrealistic person can. This is Glacial Hammer. Glacial Hammer is the baseline bonk skill in Path of Exile. It doesn't have some sort of scaling mechanism like Bone Shatter, and it doesn't have altered base attack speed like Heavy Strike or 90% of other melee skills in the game. Just you, free cold conversion, and all of the bonk you can cram into it. It's also a strike skill. You might have heard this described as true melee, and that's what it is as far as Path of Exile is concerned. I've seen people make anything work, but making it work does not a viable skill make. No, I posit that in order for a skill to be viable, it has to be able to make its own way, which is why this league, I'm going to be taking a two-hander Glacial Hammer into solo self-found to see what it can get done. From the moment I kill Hillock, it is my primary skill all the way to mapping and beyond, and if it can't earn its own upgrades, or it's just ungodly awful to play because it's that bad, then it gets a failing grade. No trading, no alternate skills or character, just a man and his bonk stick. First, though, we have to get to mapping, so I'll just do that real quick.
Here, your path inked in the blood of the shortest lady. You have to train the grand arena. Now Raycross shall be your audience.
Oh man, why am I not playing Trade League? Perfect. Not really though. Not counting the breaks I took, that was actually 7.5 hours of playing. Dominating Blow, for reference, generally takes me 6.5 if I'm really taking my time. It's not all bad though. When I had a good weapon, the skill shined, and it was weapon dependent. So the parts where I didn't have a good weapon were slow, but it still got by, even with low DPS, because it's got that robustness of being a good vehicle for freeze. The freezing is present even on bosses, which is probably only going to feel better as I freeze bigger and bigger baddies. And yes, by the way, you can freeze pinnacle bosses, but they have an action speed minimum, which basically means they can move even while frozen. This is important for reasons that will get talked about at a later time. Tomorrow, we start mapping. I get the feeling that's where the suffering is hiding. That's when the game really starts, and when early mapping generally I find to be like the most dangerous, difficult time for a character. You just don't really seem to have the damage yet for anything, and that's going to feel doubly so on a character who doesn't have outside scaling from my weapon in a lot of ways. Be entertaining though.